some sites. I don't know if all the photos are in there, but some portions of the play area are just gone, taken out, broken, disrepaired. You can't get any replacements for it.
The one at the campground or where?
So, put this new one in. And, get a budget for next year. It's a lot of money.
How much is it?
$725.
Just put up some wooden ones.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here this evening for Village Council. It's April 20th. We will start with a prayer and pledge of allegiance. Please bow your head if you so desire. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you now. We just give you thanks for this community, for its staff, for its residents, and for everybody that visits here. We ask you to be with us and guide us as we make decisions for the betterment of this community. We ask you to be with its emergency personnel and its residents as they go through these times. We ask you to be with the military and be with those that are sick and just need your healing and your praise upon them. We ask you to be with those and guide them each and every day. Thank you for all you do for this community and guide us and direct us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, thank you. Roll call.
Egley. Here. Miller.
Here.
Milena.
Here.
Bassett.
Here.
Sadike.
Here.
Need a motion to amend the council agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett.
Yes.
Sadike.
Yes.
Milena.
Yes.
Egley. Yes. Miller.
Yes.
Okay. We have some guests here this evening. We have Jen Kemple and Steph Mazur discussing a little bit about what's going on with the Hicksville Community Service Center. So, ladies, you are up.
First and foremost, thank you for allowing us to have the Hicksville Community Service Center next to the police station. I actually taught 6 students CPR for first aid and babysitting to get ready for this summer, so it was really nice to have a facility to take them to and have that last night, so thank you.
And we're not really going to talk so much about the Hicksville Community Service Center except for what we have been doing for many years now, supporting the children of the Hicksville community with summer lunches and summer programs. And that summer programming is really at the heart of what we want to address today.
For the last 4 years, I have, with community volunteers, handled a community service kid event all summer called Monday Fun Day. Tony knows about this because her son partakes every year. So in 2022, my girls were bored. They were 2nd and 4th graders, and we tried to figure out something that we could do to keep the kids in the community. So we used Monday Fun Day. We came up with Monday Fun Day. I originally didn't work Mondays, so that's where we came the name. And every Monday we did a different activity, mostly at the park. It's the last year that we had the pool, so we would hang out all day until 3, and then the kids after lunch would just swim at the park to get them excited about potentially a new pool. So then each year we've kind of, as my responsibilities have changed at my employer, we have kind of done every other Monday, different things. One big event every year is we go to Blackbeard's Bay. All the kids love that. That's like their favorite thing to do. We've done arts and crafts in the park. We
Bring in the
Bounce.
volunteers
Yep.
also.
all of the volunteers have been moms within the community, so it's been really great. The first year we did pool safety. We did a pool party back to school. Every year Hillary Carnahan has done some sort of fitness, from TikTok dances to we did a fun run, and then we tie-dyed our shirts afterwards. We've done Zumba, art in the park, Blackbeard's Bay, of course. We did a safety training, so fire and police came down and talked to us about first aid. We built first aid kits. The Hicksville Hospital, when they were still open, did a try your sport, so like Haggerty and some other members of the CMH came down and they did different sports. We did nutrition, prepping snacks after school, all without using heat. We did Leo splash pad. Each year we've went and toured the fair and did 4-H, because everybody always thinks it's just for animals. So I think we did have a few more kids sign up for 4-H after going through and seeing that you don't have to have animals. The first 2 years it was free. It was anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 that the Hicksville Community Service gave me a budget, and we stayed under. The third year rather, we did $50 per kid just to cover expenses. And then last year we had a donation from a community member who didn't want to see this fade, so she donated the full $2,000 so that we could entertain kids throughout the summer. So we're just here to ask if there's any way we can do something for the kids this summer. I am not able to do Monday Fun Day anymore, so any community members that would love to help would be welcomed.
Yeah, and it would be something, I think, because we do have money set aside to help fund for kids issues, kids programs, but most of us that are on the board are busy, and everybody's busy, but we really just need someone to step up and take charge of a park program. So what we're asking you all, it used to be something that the village actually helped us with when Sandy was doing it, and I was helping Sandy down at the park. We had it every year, and we had programs and meetings, and kids of all ages came, and we kind of like to see something like that, especially there are, of course, kids in the community that don't really have a lot to do in the summer, and busy kids are a lot better than not so busy kids. Yeah, busy is much better than bored when it comes to kids. So that's basically all we want to present to you is trying to find a way, or help us find a way to get a summer program going. Maybe you have someone in mind that could take charge of that. Maybe it's something that we can partner in again, and that would be something, a partnership would be something we'd really, really like to have happen. Any questions?
What were the hours usually did the program, and how long was the duration?
The first year it was 8 to 3. After lunch, after they had the free lunch that Hicksville Community Service and the local churches provide, then the kids would go swim at the pool. The next year the pool was gone and there was a gaping hole, and I didn't feel super comfortable being responsible for 87 kids at a park with a gaping hole. So the last 3 years we've kind of focused on field trips, and so it's been 8 to noon. So we dismissed at noon so we didn't have to provide lunch. And then we always had snack and drink that was provided by parents donating each week. A different parent stepped up. So 8 to noon the last 3 years.
Okay. And when you did the field trips, was it the parents' responsibility to get the kids to the venue?
Yes.
Have you reached out to the school at all to see if like any of the teachers, I know they teach kids all year long, they probably want a break, but I didn't know, they're off for the summer.
that
A
is-
lot of them are off for the summer, some still work.
A lot of us are off in the summer, this is
Yeah.
true. But when they're off in the summer and they can have a chance to have their kids somewhere else and someone else taking care of them, it's a time to just breathe. And so although there are a lot of teachers who do volunteer.
Well, Sandy Brown was one of them that did it for many years.
Yes,
and-
and she said she's another one who's now back on the center, and she's willing to help guide and make steps and show how these things can be done. But, yeah, we can reach out to teachers, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be a bit of a struggle.
What ages?
So initially it was pre-K through like 4th or 5th grade. But even my daughter, who's going to be a 7th grade, she's went every year. And so we've tried to kind of mentor the older kids, like find a kindergartner and that's your buddy. And so they could still come, but they had to help. They still got to do whatever we were doing, but they would help with bathroom breaks and snacks. And if somebody was scared, they just kind of worked with someone smaller than them. So.
And that's also the way the older program worked when Sandy was in charge of it. We would have groups K through 6, but then older kids would come and volunteer at those times to help.
And how many months did you do it?
June, July, August. We ended each summer at the Defiance County Fair. The 4-H, her name is Rebecca, I believe. She would walk us through all the barns and talk about the different opportunities in 4-H, and we always got a free shake, so that was super fun. Yeah.
Is this one day a week or all week?
So it's always been one day a week. It's called Hicksville Monday Fun Day. So we would kick off the summer with everybody got shirts, and we would either tie-dye them or do a fun run so that we can identify which kids at the park were with our program and which kids at the park were just, at the park. So, but Monday was typically the day that we.
The old program when our kids were little, Mike, that was the one where it was in the morning, but it was different weeks. So you'd have different grade bands down there for those 3 hours and then lunch. And it would skip throughout, but then the field trips were open to all the kids. So it can be remade, it can be reconfigured, but that's, the Monday Fun Day is something that we went to because one day is a lot easier to find volunteers for them.
And initially my day off was Monday, and that's changed, so.
What about partnering with like area colleges? Some like young teachers, programs like that. Do they need hours? Do they need something like that? I don't know.
The first year, we had quite a few community memorial hospital interns, so they were paid to come down. I think we had 5 or 6 that showed up every Monday. And so instead of reporting to the hospital, they were down with us. But individually on my own, no, I have not been able to make those connections.
I personally would love to see something like this. I went to it when it was week-long. My son went to it when it was one day a week. And I worked at the pool for 10 years. I know who that serves. It obviously isn't something we've wrote into our budget this year, and it doesn't sound like you guys are necessarily asking for money, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe next year looking at what a like semi-volunteer paid position would look like to help with something like that.
And I really think that's the key. I think
Yeah.
the key is finding someone who would be willing to spend those 3 months and kind of creating a program with our help.
Yeah.
And being willing, it would be a great summer job,
Yeah.
I think, for that college age student or, the juniors or seniors. I know that even my nephew wants NHS hours all the time. That's something that we could obviously partner with the NHS kids here at Hicksville to help with. But I really think that you hit the nail on the head, Tony, by saying pay. Because I think that it is a good summer job for someone who wants to get into education or health field.
Early childhood.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds like a good senior project too.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I have reached out to the National Honor Society in the past to look for volunteer hours. Unfortunately, I just didn't get a response back from the school in regards to students who were interested 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and then truthfully, I just stopped.
I would love to see us invest in our parks program and truly step up like some of the area parks and offer a seasonal type position where they help with that programming aspect of a parks program. I would love to see it get to that point. I don't know what that looks like in the future, but I would hate to see this die because I do know who it serves.
So I would encourage you, I know I see most of you in here and most of you know how to get a hold of me or Jen, text or email, and kind of see if we can get together and work this out so that we can, just make this a stronger and safer summer village for our kiddos.
And I think especially this year as we're heading into, it's tight for a lot of families that having something for the kids to do. Our community kids deserve more than just looking forward to the fair every year.
Do you know, was it primarily funded by United Way before?
NOCAC did part, well, that was back from lunches, but NOCAC, and then we, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of how many years ago it was. But there was I can't remember the name of what it used to be called. Sandy would know this, but it was a partnership, but there was a time when the village was helping with the costs, so I don't know.
United
I think
Way
we used to
has-
pay like $1,500 if I remember right.
Yeah.
I remember that we partnered with the village, I just don't remember what the cost was.
I think it was $1,500 a year is what we paid for somebody to run that program for the summer.
In United Way, we did just get a grant for summer programming, which our summer programming at Hicksville Community Service is also the free lunches that we work with the community for. So we do have, if we have a capable person who would like to help, we do have some funding where we could help fund it this year. We just need bodies now. Yeah.
Have you talked to any churches? I know, because it's usually.
The churches already partner with us for the summer lunches. I mean, they take turns, they're really
Right,
great,
right.
providing food and things like that. In fact, the cost of our summer lunches have kind of gone down since the churches have been helping, so. Any other questions?
I think, but like I said, we can put the word out, maybe, are you able to start the program at all this year? Or is it like
I
if
would
we
be
don't get
more
some
than-
volunteers?
I would be
right out
more
the
than
gate?
happy to help. I just, one of the big things is you do have to have liability insurance. Somebody who is cleared by the FBI doesn't have, you have to do a background check, and first aid and CPR certified. So I always felt obligated to be there because of the volunteers. I was the only one who qualified under all of that. But yes, I'd be more than happy to help with the liability, the program that we've already set up through our insurance agent, and then like just different programming, what worked, what didn't work.
Right. So you're they're umbrellaed under the service center?
Yes.
Okay. That's nice to know. So,
Does the Service Center have a Facebook page?
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Have you put anything on that to,
So not yet, because we're not sure what direction the programs that we've taken this year.
Gotcha.
So,
If we don't have bodies.
well, I meant
Yeah.
for looking for someone to help out to take over, not necessarily the program itself.
In the past, it's been moms. Moms volunteered each week, and that's really worked. One of my biggest volunteers, though, had twins last September, so I don't know that she's gonna be able to be there every Monday like she has in the past, so.
just have a little babysitter.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I mean, thank you for all you've done in the
Sure.
last couple of years. You know,
Absolutely.
It's been a nice program. You've seen the kids down there on Monday nights, so, Monday days. Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions, just contact one of us, and we'd love to meet up with some people to get this going.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Next, we have the approval of the council meeting minutes from April 6th. Questions?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Roll call.
Egley?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Belinda?
Yes.
Siedijk?
Excuse me, yeah.
You got a bills list in your packets.
What's the Froggy Park restroom
I was gonna ask the same.
HVAC get bill for almost 4,000?
We put air conditioning in those? I'm kidding. Those,
Nothing would surprise me, I promise you.
that was for all the new stools up at the Little League Diamonds. There would have been 3 new stools up there. A new one at the concession stand for the softball. That one was all cracked and broken up there. And then we found out over the winter time, the 2 stools at Froggy Park had broke. They froze and broke. So that was 2 more of those. And then there was some additional work that had to be done to the flanges, the closets on the ones at the Little League. They had to be raised up. They actually had wood shims in there from when it was built, so that's what that is. That's pretty much all the stools in the park except one of them at the softball concession.
I know that the baseball ones have had some problems in the past. I mean, it's probably gonna need more than just a toilet, but did they kind of fix that as well?
It was toilet issues.
Yeah, I think that'll resolve it.
Mhm.
Just a new toilet.
Yep.
All right. They'll be excited about that.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Roll call.
Miller?
Yeah.
Belinda?
Yes.
Siedijk?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
So I don't believe any boards or commissions that met or council committees met here since the last meeting. So that puts us up to administrator's report.
Just a couple things. The storms that came through, we did have some more insurance claims. We have a dugout that got destroyed on Field 3 in the park. They were out today. The claim adjuster was out today. Was also out today to look at the roof on the street department. Not sure what he's gonna do. I did get one estimate back for that roof, to have it done, which was $124,000 to have that roof redone. Also, there was a lot of underlying issues under that. I mean, it's pretty rotted. Ohio Asphalt will be in the next few weeks. There's quite a bit of locations that we're gonna be patching. And I'll be meeting with the new guy to us from District 2 with ODOT to see what they can help us with on the state routes this spring as well. I really don't think it should be on the village to fix every bit of the state routes that need repaired. And with District 2, like I said, they seem to be more gung-ho about that. The guys will be out replacing all the flags around town yet this week, and then hanging the America 250 banners on the intersections as well. That's all I got.
Do you know when the banners, I think she left, Steph left, but
Oh.
the banners for the
The
veterans?
veterans, yeah, we're working on
you're
those.
Buying the brackets and everything to hang them up on the poles, any update on those?
I have nothing.
I have not
Nobody's
talked to
gotten me.
Corey. I talked to Corey about, I think there's over like 170 veterans that signed up for this. So we're putting one veteran on one side, one on the other. So that's a lot of poles.
Yeah, I had told Mike, I said, we'll offer our services and our lift, and we'll do all the manual labor that we need to do to get them up, but yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
But talking to the, name.
Talia Keeley?
Yeah. And the money she raised, I don't know if she has enough to buy brackets and stuff like that, or if, I had approached council before
We
about,
purchased some.
Yeah.
The area purchased some brackets for the poles, were those for the banners?
We got some brackets for the green poles,
Yeah.
but not the wood telephone poles.
because downtown, a lot of the poles are busted, the lower poles, right? They're stripped out and busted, the bases, the lower level. But yeah, we want to kind of spread them around town. I mean, maybe go up along through High and then maybe along Main too, and kind of really highlight them throughout the entire community. So, and AEP said just need the poll numbers for them. They were very giving with letting us, but there's parameters we got to follow, and I think most of them we can follow, so. Yep.
Any update on the handrail viaduct?
The handrail's been built,
Okay,
just waiting on them to get here to do the curbing.
okay. And any update on the hospital purchase? Have you heard anything at all?
It did not close.
Okay, I haven't seen anything, but,
And trust me, I've already been in contact
because
with
they've already done
the
like
receivers.
first extensions and.
Yep.
We have one more, but probably later. I know Mark Pierman had talked to me about an issue with a letter he got in the mail or whatever, hung on his door for having a stormwater go down into the ground, so you'll wanna talk about that later too.
Good. Anything else for Corey? Good. Solicitor report, Avery.
Final reading of ordinance 2026-01 to amend chapter, I believe it's actually 505-03, keeping animals near dwellings. That's the one you guys just got, changing the 100 to 50 feet and then taking out the excluding roosters.
I make a motion, we approve.
Is there a second? Well, I think that's the one we got tonight, so, with that, it doesn't, I mean, if there's no second on the reading, right, with the changes that were submitted at the last council meeting. It goes back to the original ordinance. Good. No second.
So then we have a final reading of resolution 2026-10 by caption only, authorizing the sale of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit village property, including by internet auction for the calendar year 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Egley,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Valena,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
First reading of resolution 2026-15, adopting the Hicksville Emergency Medical Services bylaws and declaring an emergency.
Does this need to be passed as an emergency?
he's not here tonight.
Is there a reason why it's?
He wanted it done, so that's why.
The bylaws were last looked at in 2019, so they're pretty old. So that's why I wanted it done. It doesn't have to be an emergency. If you want to just have the first reading.
I like for it to just be the first reading.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These are what Bruce sent out here, a couple weeks back?
First reading of resolution 2026-16 by caption only, approving an employment training reimbursement agreement between the Village of Hicksville and Joshua Myers and declaring an emergency.
Section 1 might need adjusted, or I don't have the most updated copy. It says he's attending the academy beginning in August and ending in May.
You're right.
Is it the wrong year in May, or it should be started in May and he ends in August?
No,
No.
August 26th, May 27th.
Okay,
Yeah.
then the year needs changed, May of 2027.
Say 26.
Yeah. This one here, May of 2026.
This one's different.
Yeah, this is the one that Mark had
Oh, it's
sent
sent
everyone.
out.
It was separate, but this was the contract for them to sign.
So, my question is, does this resolution just need to be basic? Because if we decide to reuse this in the future, we're gonna have to do this all over again. Can it remove names
Well,
so
this
that it
one-
can just be a basic contract?
well, he's paying for a 10th class, so that'd be the one.
The change?
Yeah.
So we may, I see. what
His
you're
is
saying.
kind
We
of
may have to do it
specific.
anyways.
Yeah, I
Cost would be
think,
different in the future too, for all depends where they're attending.
Well, this doesn't have any actual numbers in it.
yeah, the resolution I kept pretty,
Yeah, it's pretty basic. That's why I thought maybe it would save us in the future if we did this, but I agree with you that,
yeah, his
That could
terms are a
change.
little different, so that's why.
yeah. Does this one have to be an emergency? I guess you would understand time frame better than we would if it's not in, seems like we'd have a little bit of time to work with.
We would have, I mean, it wouldn't have to be, because we would have 2 meetings in May and one first meeting in June.
Okay.
But I want to discuss the contract anyways before, when I go up to speed.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I figured. I mean, I'd seen emails, but we didn't have any conversation, so, okay. Yeah, I would prefer it not to be
That's fine.
an emergency.
So then that's all I have.
Thank you.
And that's Joshua, if you guys didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's-
There's that Mr. Denning.
But with that, I think we're department heads. You want to do Chris, Parks Department first, since she's here?
Whatever you want to do.
Let's do Park first, and then we'll get into Chief Denning, so.
I got a bunch of these. I got all that back here.
Okay, I have that as well.
Pass that down. That's all I got. I gotta share.
Go share 'em.
Give you a minute to kind of browse that over. Since we ex-nate on the pool, we wanted to do something different in the park. Our big issue with Froggy Park now is the damages. I mean, it is unreal how much of the casing, you have exposed metal, rusted metal,
that these kids are playing on. It's a trip and fall hazard in most of the spots. We have vandalism that's all over all the slides that is not going anywhere. I believe Froggy Park is probably well over 20 years old. It's been there since I was a child. So since we're no longer going with the pool, we'd like to take that fund and put it towards a new playground. I kind of going with what they were talking about earlier about bringing the kids back to the park and having a community, like the kids, the park is a hot spot for the summertime. Between the basketball courts, baseball, everything. There's kids down there all the time. That's what they love, that's what they enjoy. And everybody goes to Froggy Park. But it's becoming, it's getting to the point where it's becoming hazardous. I do have photos and images of all the damages as well at Froggy Park. We can always get those to you as well. So this is the proposal. I don't know, did you give them just the first one that they sent us or the second one that Kelsey sent me today? Okay. So our first quote, so we're going with game time. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't get words out. We had another company come in. Their price was a little too high for our liking, when we can go with game time and essentially get the exact same thing that I wanted. So everything that's in the images is not a final, it's not final set in stone. She actually sent the final rough draft to me today. I didn't have the hard copies with me, obviously, so this is what you kind of get the idea. There is a zip line in this proposal. It is not going to be in the final proposal. We're going to actually do a cone spinner instead. It's actually pretty exciting, so I'm really pumped about it. I think it would be great for our community. I think it would be great for our kids. This is coming out of their 2026 catalog, so it's got really cool stuff. The great thing about it, it's handicap accessible, and all of our children that, especially at our school, I know that there are a lot of kids with sensory issues. They need to be included as well. When you go down to the park, there's no way for a wheelchair to get through the mulch. This way we would have, I think, the same thing that the school has, where it's going to be flat ground, so they'll be able to access it from the sidewalk, and they could take their wheelchairs right on. All the slides are handicap accessible. If a child is in a wheelchair, they have platforms where you can wheel their wheelchairs up there, and they're able to crawl up there if they can, and there's spots for their parents to go up there with them. I'm trying to think of anything else. So it would be dedicated from left to right. From left to right, over on the left-hand side, it will be more so for toddlers. That's another thing I said when I wanted, we have nothing down there for toddlers. So I would like to bring smaller playground equipment, just fun things for our toddlers to do as well. Our 2 to 5 will be on the left-hand side as well, so toddlers in 2 to 5 will be in the same zone. It'll be split up with a set of swings. The swings on the left-hand side will be more accountable for the 2 to 5, and then on the left-hand side would be more for the 5 to 12. And then on the right-hand side, it will be more zoned for the 5 to 12-year-olds. They'll have seating and everything else. That's another thing I'll be incorporating as well. That's what the little shelter house is, so.
Remind me, grant, 800? I know it's matching, but what up to?
Up to 750.
750, okay. But
We're only gonna get half of this project. We've already lost half of that grant.
Okay.
It's gone, we've kicked the can down the road too far.
They can split it up between the other place in the Finance County, right?
Yep, it'll stay within the county. There's some other communities that are gonna be getting some of our grant money. So this is really our best shot at utilizing what funds we can get. You know, the all-inclusive is, I think, an awesome thing. And it's, you know, in person it'd be fairly large. You know, it'll be the entire park down there.
I thought that price seemed reasonable considering that includes the
Yes.
ground.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's $245,000 was that.
I was gonna say that has to be.
We did have another company here. They were closer to 8 on it, and then this game time came in and had a couple of revisions, but we seemed to like their stuff a little bit better, and they were more reasonable on their pricing as well.
They're the same ones that put in the school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's- And this will have the concrete curbing all the way around it. So all that, kind of like a hard, softish rubber, will all be within that, all have drainage and stuff into it.
Is the same place that the current playground is?
What's that?
The same place as the current?
Yep, yep, for the most part, yes.
So it's not going to get extended out, so like, you know, the little red wagon that we've, it's literally a staple piece, it's been there for years. And then the little metal slide down pole, so we're not going any further than that. So it's gonna be able, you're gonna see your children from the access point to the parking lot. And the whole main point, the one thing I said too, is I wanted to be able to have seating and shade. So parents can sit there and they can see their kids over on the right hand, on the left hand or the right hand side. Oh, I've got my 5 to 12 over here and I've got my toddlers over here. They're able to see all 360 degrees, so. I just think it's important for our kids who have sensory issues, we have a lot of them, and there's nothing for them to do within our park. That is the one thing, it's hard for them to move around, especially if kids who have crutches, not even wheelchairs, just walking wheelchairs as well. They can't do it.
Yeah. We've been blessed to have Froggy Park. and-
Absolutely.
and
This will, and
volunteers,
and that's the one thing, you saw the little frog
Sure.
statue. This will be the new and improved
Right,
Froggy
right.
Park. I know it was never Froggy Park, but it turned into Froggy Park. But I think this would be a good, I know Hicksville does not like change, so this would be the new and improved, Froggy Park.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's a good idea to move forward. I don't want to lose the money. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a nice attraction for the park.
Absolutely.
I
Would you
think-
consider advertising that for sale?
Yeah, we would
We sold,
probably.
we sold all the last, our old
Yes.
equipment at the school and down the park.
Yep, we would probably list it on Gov Deals. I think that's where we listed the last one in that last playground that we tore down. I think it went on Gov Deals and the gentleman out of Edgerton bought it, just north of town here. North of town.
Yeah, remember we had it advertised somewhere.
Yep.
And
So,
Campground bought it.
yeah, whether it sells for $100 or $10,000,
saves us
but it would save us.
$8,200 from demoing it.
Yep, worst case scenario, we demo it, which I really don't want to. I think there could be a campground or a school or somebody that would be interested in it.
Would you guys preserve the donor bricks?
I mean, we can.
I mean, I don't know how that, what does that look like normally? Do they normally give them back to the people who donated? I don't, do they?
Don't know.
Are you talking about the walkway to the park? That would stay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, here it was like blue, so that would.
Yeah,
not-
yeah, I think it was because of their design team. No,
Okay.
that would
So
stay.
that would not
That would be
change.
your walk-in point
Okay,
to get to
okay.
the flat surface. That would stay. Because
Okay.
beautification also plants flowers. and
Yes.
makes it look really nice.
Yeah.
So I would pay for that to
Donors
go.
get 2 parks.
They give credit for 2 bricks. What's the timeline for something like this?
It would be after the first of the year.
Okay.
'Cause obviously, we'd have to budget for next year for us.
Yeah, and then we would, wait until after fall to demo? I mean, we wouldn't take this out before.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Do we risk losing the 375,000 that we have left if we wait too long?
No, Roy Kloffenstein is, we talk all the time about this. This is, yeah, he's aware that you guys are gonna have to see this and we're gonna have to budget for it before we can do anything. That it wasn't something we could do next month.
Right.
If they will earmark that funding for us.
But I think they still want to know if we are a go with the project.
Right,
We need to
correct.
tell them right now that we want to use that money for this, get their approval,
Yep.
and then get everything locked in, and give them a guarantee.
We've successfully drug our feet long enough that the grant is reopened, right?
Yeah, which we can't apply for it.
Yeah.
We did, but they threw it out because we haven't used any of the funding from the previous
Right.
one. And it's every other year,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, so it's 2 more years before we would get to see any of that money again, which we talked about the first time, but yeah.
Yep. You know, it's, you know, the pool is gonna be something for the youth and all families and, you know, yeah, baseball fields are one thing, but this is the most utilized piece of equipment in the park all year round, almost.
Yeah.
So you want council's kind of vote, blessing to move forward with the project and
That way they can, yes, that way they can get everything reallocated to the village. You know, I have not sent Roy this proposal. I didn't want to send him anything until it went in front of you guys.
So half that would be covered by the grant. This isn't the final.
Ro-
final
Roy
price
talked
will go
about-
up with the
No,
change
no,
or go
no,
down?
no, it could potentially go down.
Okay.
I can move things around if I need to. I think their design team added a couple extra benches or added this. I didn't get to talk to her. I talked to her at the end of the day before. I was like, I'm presenting this tonight at council. So she's like, we can do this, this, and this. So we could put certified playground mulch underneath where the swings are to save costs. She said we could do that way. There's different ways. She said we can make this. Yeah, I know. But I was like, there's ways around it. I was like, as long as we can get a yes, I'll do what I can. But I don't want the certified playground mulch. But to have one soft service, that'd be great.
I was gonna ask Eric, working with this company for the school playgrounds, right, are they, you know?
Oh,
spot
they're great to
on,
work with,
or-
yeah, we've changed some swings around, made them tandem swings, which you guys have on here too, for part of them. I will say, I know you say this is for little kids, they'll go wherever.
I know, yeah.
I had to
yeah.
kick the junior high kids off the K through 3 this afternoon, so they'll go wherever they wanna go. but-
Through Sourcewell?
The biggest thing would be if there's any type of seating around the perimeter, if
Yeah.
there's any type of shading, that we could make sure they had shading for parents that are sitting
Well,
there.
that's why I was kind of wanting that, because both proposals that I got, they had moved it closer and closer away from the trees. I was like, I want my littles over here, so I want them to be closer to the shade. So that big tree that we have down at the FRE Park will be actually covering most of that area over by where the littles will be. That's why I was kind of keeping them to more towards the left.
You say Sourcewell. Makes the price go up.
Sourcewell?
Yeah.
Most of our stuff is through Sourcewell.
Last 2 things I've got quoted, it's more expensive going through them.
But we don't go through them.
I know, but use them as one of their, like,
Right. I see what you're
Omnia.
saying.
I seen they're on the bottom of the 1-page Omnia. That's consortium, like Sourcewell.
Yep, as long as they're there, that way we wouldn't have to bid it.
Yeah.
That's what she was asking.
Yeah.
So what do you think, folks?
I think Z-Like, that would look good in your backyard for your grandkids.
It would look awesome. Need a motion for it?
I think it looks amazing, I mean.
Motion to move forward, yep.
Just to go down there.
I'll make a motion that we accept the quote.
Does that lock in that quote then too?
Hmm?
I mean, you know, they said the quote can go down, but does that also kind of lock in,
I mean, I
will it
kinda-
go up? Like if we don't start this project until 2027, is there a potential that that quote will go up?
I could probably get it locked with Kelsey. If I can talk to her tomorrow and get a better answer on that too. Because I kind of told her, I was like, it's kind of up in the air. I don't really know. I don't know when the project will start, so I can ask her tomorrow.
I mean, even with this too, do they need money down once they okay and we motion, do they need a 10%?
They really haven't we haven't got that far. It was more so like setting up the design, getting pricing. That way we can propose it and get this ball rolling.
Well, Brian made a motion.
I'll second that.
Who was that, Cheryl? Cheryl's the money there?
Mhm.
You don't have any reserve, bad feelings about it?
Do we have money next year?
Maybe next year's budget, but.
We're gonna do the pavilion this year, right?
The pavilion is getting reskinned, all the stones coming off, it's like 17.5. Yes, the pavilion is, that's a whole different ball of wax there.
Yeah, but it's all in the general fund.
Sure.
So if we don't have to spend it next year, then we can use that money for something else.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, the pavilion capital will be pretty low next year.
Okay. Well, we have a first and a second. Roll call?
Miller? Sorry.
Yes.
Valena?
Yes.
Siedike?
Yes.
Bassett?
As long as we get the grant for it, guaranteed the grant will go for this.
We have nothing else to put it towards.
I mean, I understand that, but they're gonna approve that
That's what Roy's saying.
Yes, and I also,
Okay, I just
Roy had
wanna-
mentioned the same thing to me as well, that he had been in conversations with Corey and that this was the plan, so he's very well aware of it.
I think
Big
they want us to
difference,
keep it
yeah.
here. He wants us to have the
Yes.
money. I mean,
Yeah.
they do. They want us to keep
Yes.
it in time. So.
If we didn't get half, I wouldn't even be on board.
Okay, that's what,
It's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money, but if there really is that much damage to the one down there, we need to think about.
Yeah, see it in person.
Right.
It's gonna become a liability issue.
Right.
Christine, I thank you.
Thank you.
For looking into it, you and Corey and doing all
Thank
that
you.
work on there, and it looks nice, looks wonderful. Now we have Chief Danning. I think everybody else is here. Yeah, you're up.
All right, Bruce Silcott's not here. So we had PNR communications out to look at the sirens. So we got a quote to fix that. They're compatible with the technical stuff that needs to be put on the sirens to make them compatible. The quote is for 12,000 and some to fix both of them. What they would have to do. So it's about 6,000 a piece to fix both sirens. So, so that's from PNR. I know Corey was wanting,
It's Federal Field Services.
yeah, to take a look at it too, to get a quote from them on that. So, I don't know if he forwarded any of that quote to you guys or not. Okay. So yeah, it was 12, that was less than 13,000, so I think it was like 12,725 or something like that, so.
What, when do those have to be switched over? By what time?
December 31st of 2028. So. Second thing is the one issue that we talked about in the executive last time, one officer possibly leaving, he is staying. So we don't have to worry about that issue. The other one is, we did have one leave. His last day was yesterday. We'd like, Village of Hicksville and the Hicksville Police Department would like to thank Garrett Franz for his 12, 13 years that he has spent here. He's moving on to the next chapter of Defiance Police Department, so we wish him the best. His last day was yesterday. Third thing is, I think I told you guys this in executive last time, I don't remember. I have another one that's probably leaving in the May, June, after their baby is born. So, and then final thing is contract with Josh. I sent out a thing on the thoughts. There was discussion about having wages put in this contract. When I figured out, I sent out the wages for a year or for the 740 hours in the academy. Obviously, I sat down and talked to Josh about this. He's not willing to sign on anything that would be a repayback on any type of wages. That's a lot of money. I talked to Bruce Silcott to see if they ever done anything with wages in any of their contracts or the EMT stuff. They have not. I didn't get much feedback from other chiefs on wages. They've done contracts for paying for the police academies and things like that. Our scenario is here, Josh is paying for his own academy. It's no different than when I've hired, I think I've hired 3, in the 7 years I've been here, we've hired 3 straight out of the academy. We did not have any, one of those 3 signed any type of contract to come here to work. We had to outfit them with vests and equipment. I think one out of the 3 is still here with us. And with the equipment costs that I had put in there now, it may not even rise to that amount of money, because with Garrett leaving, some of the stuff might fit him that we have for him. I also think contract for any new hire. I mean, if we do a contract even for the equipment and the uniform expense, I think that's gonna hinder us trying to get anybody to come here to work, all right? You know, I don't think we've done it for EMS or fire unless we've paid for their schooling. I mean, when we discussed the contract was mainly about, because we were gonna pay for the academy, which was probably about 10 grand, I think 10 is what I had to figure that we're gonna pay. And I get that for a contract for that. You want a commitment, that's a lot of money. I mean, this is still a lot of money, but I also think it's gonna hinder us because we have never done that before. So I leave it up to you guys on what you want. I know I'd sent out an email last Monday. I got one response back from Eric about what the wages were. I talked to the mayor. He told me to figure it up a couple different ways, so that's what we did. So I guess I leave it up to you folks on how you want to do it. I know we, you know, even when we hire somebody, our training that we go to, they're all paid to go to that training. You know, I think the biggest issue is I want to bring him on board before he starts his academy. And the reason for that is to knock out 20-25% of his training in a 90-day cycle that we normally do, because we spend it on computers, policies, procedures, protocols, courts, you know, how all that stuff runs. And I think we can knock out, before he starts the academy, we can probably knock out probably the majority of that stuff, and then in 90 days we can spend out on the road and working with the criminal side, teaching the criminal side of it, and investigations and traffic side and all that. So, but I leave it up to you folks. You guys control the purse strings and things, so how you guys want to do it. So
I'd have thought too, and I don't know if we talked about this, Chief, but with, you got an account, you're gonna get an accounting background too, right? Numbers guy, right? That's cool. But having a backup for Jennifer too, an administration kind of thing, was that something you were gonna maybe work with?
we're gonna try to squeeze that in a little bit.
Right, because I know when she leaves, it's kind of, you're in limbo a little bit with some of the paperwork and the computers and things like that, because she's pretty in-depth and entailed with keeping track of all that kind of stuff. So it was just a thought with him being on board, having, you know, maybe somebody could fill in
Yeah,
during these months if she's gone. Because I know she's doing training here this week too, or
yeah,
coming
she's
up.
going
so.
to the mayor's
Report,
report.
yeah. Any thoughts, questions?
I already responded to him. I was not planning on adding wages in on that, on mine.
That was my thought as well.
It
I
was
saw
just
your
for whatever we
response.
had for cost of, you know, ammo or guns or equipment or anything was the only one thing I thought we were considering. I didn't realize wages was one of the things that might be on the table.
Yeah, as far as the ammo goes, what he's paying for, they're furnishing, the ammo. So we don't have any extra cost in that. The only thing that's not on there that I just found out today is we'll have to pay for his physical. So he's gotta have physical under police and fire, so he'll have to have the stress and
We have
the
to do
medical
that
one.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, so, yeah, Northwest State does not do that. So yeah, so like, we just furnish him the gun, which we've already got, you know.
And we would have done that anyways.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest discussion was really around paying for the academy.
yeah,
So I don't.
and I get that, because that was quite a chunk of money.
There's a lot of different choices too on where he was gonna go and the cost difference. There's a
Yeah.
big cost
Yes.
difference. And
So he's registered right now at Northwest State. He's also looking at Owens, right? Because Owens starts sooner, correct?
It starts the same time, but it's.
Oh, it is starting. I thought
Yeah,
the
starts
dates were,
No, so I called them, it starts in May, but it's.
okay, so the dates are wrong on their
Yeah.
site then. Okay. That's why I thought they originally told me it was the same time. Okay. So Northwest State's probably the better option for him. So, but yeah, as far as most of that stuff's all included in his wages, what we were going to have to pay at the Ohio State Patrol Academy. You know, that was free, but we were paying for a lot of clothing, ammunition, so.
Well, I think by the next meeting, we can always look at the budget and figure that out as well. But it seems like if those are things that we would already supply, we wouldn't have him sign a contract.
Yeah. And
Because we're gonna have at least one other position, if not two, right, that we're gonna have to refill.
yeah, we're gonna have to fill
So,
two. Yeah, so he's basically filling the position that we've been down since last May.
right.
All right, now we have to fill Garrett's position, which I have, we've gotten, I don't know, Corey handed me about 3 or 4 resumes this morning. 3 of them are, they're not even certified. And then I've got one that's in the academy now that has applied. He's at the Vantage Academy. He's from Paulding. We're interviewing him on Wednesday morning. And then I have another local, currently in the process of doing the background check on him. So we've got 2 candidates at least for Garrett's position right now. So, and then I think there's a couple more on my desk, but I think those are going out too, because neither one of those were certified. We'd have to go through the academy too, so.
But I think it's a big key, especially being local, born and raised here, lives here. It's a big part of our police department for backup and being a part of the community. I think that's huge. It's hard to find, you know, when you start looking at EMS and fire and police, you want to, hopefully they live here and they sign up for the job and everything, so.
So I
think
had
it's
asked Josh to come here tonight, so just in case anybody had any questions, for him. So.
Are you sure you wanna be a police officer?
But with the program, everything's on the table kind of here. If we're okay with him, we'd, you know, accept that motion to bring him on board and have
I
him
think
start
you
his
guys are
training.
fortunate that he wants to come, because his parents, his grandparents are an asset to the village. And people aren't knocking down the door to come to work at Hicksville Police Department, because the pay, the benefits aren't there. And, you know, like Garrett could leave and make $7 more an hour and be fine, so we ought to be thankful we got people that wanna work here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yep.
so what's your thoughts?
You wanna prove it in the next one, or you guys, I know we talked about that earlier, about making this an emergency tonight, or move forward? It's up to you guys.
I think make an emergency tonight and, move forward with it.
But this is for him to sign the contract,
Yeah,
right?
this, yeah.
So I guess we have to decide whether or not we want him to sign the contract, is that
We're okay with the contract.
for, to pay back things that we would have already supplied to other officers?
Because he's paying for the academy, so that's, the reason why he was gonna have the contract if we were paying for the academy.
Correct.
Just need a motion to hire him.
I make a motion to hire him.
Second.
Roll call?
Miller,
Yes.
Delena,
Yes.
Siedek,
Yes.
Egley,
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
So the condition would be, he's got to pass obviously the medical,
Right.
so, and I would start him probably in the very first pay period in June. So. He graduates May 2nd, so.
Okay. Welcome aboard.
Okay. I think that's all I have. So, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Nice. We got Brian Demlin, our zoning inspector here tonight. You're up, buddy. Huh?
About Charlie's, we talked on the land on that part. Mayor,
Yeah.
the biggest thing is, Charlie's, we know, has been bought by Justin Kuhn, and he wanted a portion of the land. I think he talked to the one committee of Mike and Tony, maybe?
Yeah.
About 100 foot on the, I think it's east end. It went through the planning commission and everybody's approved it.
West End.
Huh?
West.
West End is it? Yeah, West
Yeah.
End, sorry.
Yeah, town's all.
Yeah, West End.
Yeah.
So he can make a drive-through to the back window and kind of help everything. And then we'll have provisions in there. If we need to get on there for anything, we can get into the land. And it'll be just better if it's his or whatever, so we have the true line in the sand, what's going on, but we'll always be able to access that if we have to for the city, for the village. Wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that, so we get the blessing of the council. I think that's the only thing we got left, and he couldn't come tonight. So I said I would at least bring it up. I don't know how we have to go forward with that, but.
Survey.
Yeah. he
Survey,
said-
the survey, okay.
Already told him about that. He
Yep.
said he's paying for all the
He's paying for all,
paperwork to-
all the survey. No money's gonna come out of our pocket. It's just basically to help him try to revitalize Charlie's.
Are we giving him the land?
It'll be going through the CIC.
What's that mean?
We give the land over to them, and then they donate it to the business owner. And the way I look at it, we're better in our community. We're not really giving it away for nothing. We're bringing people back and bringing another business into town that's closed down.
How that, do you know if he plans on blacktopping that?
I don't really know. I thought at one time he thought about it, but if it's gonna be stone or what.
I just didn't know how the agreement would be if there's something underneath the, and he
Well,
had to dig
He
it up,
knows
who's
if
gonna
we
be
need to get
responsible
anything
for it?
underneath the road, in the parking lot right there, he's okay with that.
Tear it up.
And we'll have that all in the writing
Okay.
on everything.
So we gotta dig up blacktop, I mean, who's,
Yes.
put it back
Right.
in and,
Yeah, no, we had all that. We've had nice conversations. Came up with a good number of 100 foot. Corey still has plenty of room if he wants to do anything by the new lift
Lift
station, I
station.
think.
That's what I was just gonna ask Corey. I know that after our committee had met, you had expressed that you wanted some of that. This would still accommodate that? Okay.
Yes. I went to Corey before I went to Justin
Yeah.
Yep,
to
he's
see
not-
what Corey wanted.
He's not building, none of that would be over any of our new infrastructure that's
Yeah.
there.
Thank
I
you
think
guys
we're
for doing the
probably
work.
still about 80 feet from being over top of anything, so it's good.
Good.
Everybody worked together really well on that, so. That was the one thing we wanted to bring up. We'll get the survey and everything done so they can get everything properly done right. As new to the zoning, I've been throwing things that I have not had a clue what to do. So we kind of running on a whim, but we're trying to get better at that. And Cheryl's been a big help, telling me what direction to go. And then the zoning now, we have everything in the computer. It's all computer-based. So I can go back if we have a residence that we go to multiple times, I can pull a case report. And then at the end of the year, instead of Corey coming, hey, pull all these files out, I can run a report of what we've done for the year, what fines we've assessed, what new ordinances have been violated the most. So that's the biggest thing the mayor wanted me to talk about. I mean, we have some issues with some fencing around the pool right now that I gotta dig into a little deeper, but other than that, cleaning up on Perry Street has been on the list, and that's been a fight since October, since I started. That's coming along okay. And then there's a spot on Ogan Street that we're trying to get our village to look like it should be, and not just stuff everywhere. And it's not being singled out to anybody, it's just everywhere we can try to find to make this village better. That's what we're doing. So it's not singling out nobody. But it's trying to clean up and trying to uphold our ordinances. We know we've had people in the past saying, well, this wasn't done, that wasn't done. Well, we're trying to stop all the finger pointing and just try to find a good common ground to move forward. And I think that's with our ordinance committee, we'll be seeing that. Some of our ordinances are kind of outdated, what people's telling me. So I don't know when we get them, if I just give them to you and you guys can look at them or what, but for the most part, that's what we're kind of doing.
I was trying to give it kind of an update of, you know, the different, I'm talking about different projects in town. He really tries to work with the residents to get them to move forward with some cleanups and car removals and things like that. And if they're moving forward with it, you know, it gives them a little bit more extra time, but then at the same time.
If they communicate, that's fine, but if you don't want to communicate and don't come to me, what else is there to do? You go to mayor's court, then you talk about it, or you try to come up to a common ground. Some of them don't, and then they get really upset and barge through your door. That's another thing we need to talk about having secured offices. I mean, it's crazy. That'll be another topic for another day, but you can't, most villages I go into, you can't access your mayor or anybody without at least going through a door that's locked, and they can come through there at any time of the day. And if we have our doors locked, if the garage door goes open, they're like a cat or a dog, they'll fly in there right to your side door. I know it's part of the job some, but this day and age is kind of crazy.
Well, we need you to be safe. That's
Yeah.
not.
I told them to lock the doors during the day, you know, and if somebody.
There's a note on my
knocks
door
on
now,
us, yeah,
I put
just,
on there, due to circumstances, it's by appointment only. Until we can get some kind of, something.
And there's times these guys are out on the road, you know, they're out doing site inspections or doing things too, and the garage is sometimes open, you know.
Or you're trying to do a
Yeah.
Zoom meeting and they'll just barge in there and if you ever want to stop and see the computer program, not as fancy, but makes it nice to know what we have and what we're dealing with on a weekly basis.
Do you know how many letters you sent out for sanitary water, I guess,
That-
where drains going? Because I've had a few people contact me.
That
about
comes
letters.
more from the wastewater, but there's been a ton of them. And 95, and Corey could correct me if I'm wrong, 95%, everybody complies without having any issues. I mean, it's an ordinance been on the books forever that now has got to be enforced more so because we're getting pushed by the
From
EPA.
Yeah.
Our first one, Eric, was about 27 properties, the first round that we did.
Last year or?
Yeah,
'Cause- okay.
last year. We sent out probably another 20, 25. I think there's about 40 more on the board. So there's a lot of them. And a lot of them came from a book when the village had the town smoke tested. That's where a lot of those came from. That was a lot of them from the first round. But then as the guys are out and about reading meters or doing whatever they're doing, they'll spot addresses, you know, and then you're at the point, like if it's on a certain street that's already separated, you're like, well, is it in or is it not in? You know, we had an incident, and Chief Denning can attest to this, where out on West High Street, the resident was very vulgar when he came up to the office and said his downspouts weren't in to the sanitary sewer. We had reason to believe that they were. So he gave us permission, gave wastewater guys permission to dye it, and then they ran their garden hose in it. And lo and behold, here it come out on the West High Street in the sanitary. Of course, he was very belligerent from the start. He ended up just pulling them out and then putting rubber fern coats on them. But every time we get a rainstorm, Chief Denning just heard my latest voicemail from him. Every time we get a rainstorm, he's on the phone giving me the business, so. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Some of those, we have, actually we try to inspect them all. But we do know some of them are legit. Some of them go into a lot of the pop-ups out by the road. So some of them are, I know a couple of them on West High when that separation, when I first came aboard, there were some homes that had downspouts tied into that storm sewer, and it's actually on our prints as well.
So I guess I got a question. So we have somebody here in the crowd that I've talked to the last couple of days, and I know he's talked to you, and he's had Joel out of the house a couple times, and he's asking to try to get an extension so he doesn't get fined. And I don't know if sewer committee needs to meet or if you guys are still working on it.
Yeah, I spoke to him today. Yeah, I don't have any issues with an extension. The issue comes to where's the water going? I know Joel said there was what he's seen down in the clay pipes that are sticking up, it's like sand and stone, right? But the water's going somewhere. Is it leaching into the sanitary somewhere? Is it going out into a French drain into the ditch? Where's it going?
It's not like you guys are gonna do a dye test.
I spoke to Joel like a little after 4 today. Joel doesn't think a dye test will work because of all the sand and stone. So Joel's to reach out to Mark and take our push camera down into his clean out into his lateral and run it out and to see if there's any taps going into that. And I told Joel, I said, if you find no taps, then we'll give it a clean bill of health. I mean, we have to do our due diligence as well, so. I don't know if he's reached out to you since then? Okay. It was after 4 o'clock, so.
Anybody that reaches out, I think on all of our ordinances, we do the best we can to give them extensions. I had one call me today, and his tenant didn't give him the paper till Saturday, and I took it upon myself, and said, yeah, we'll give you an extension because you didn't have the paper. It's not trying to rule with an iron
Yeah, I'd
fist.
probably tell him too, it's not one of those things you're probably gonna get a fine, right away, you can go to mayor's
It's
court.
when you
but-
prolong it,
but-
and you don't wanna talk about it, and a couple things I deal with that gets up to 6 months, then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get to the bottom of his, I'll let you know, and
Right.
he's had
See ya.
plumbers come out and look at it, and he's run his own camera down it and everything else, and he just,
Right.
yes, they go in the ground, but we just wanna make sure whether or not it actually goes into the sewer or storm or not.
Yeah, there's no storm out there
Okay.
unless they go into the ditch. So like when you see something like that, if you're driving past and you see those going into the ground, it's like, well, there's no storm out there.
I got called at the school, all of ours go into the ground, but I have all the prints showing they go to the retention pond.
Yeah, you guys go across the drive.
But the village called me too and asked me where all of our stormwater went.
I get it from the same thing for the PD.
Yeah.
And theirs actually goes straight out to the street into that storm sewer.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
just
you.
another day in the office.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
I'm sorry, back with Justin stuff, do we need legislation on that? No? Do we need a vote on it? Nothing? We're good? Okay.
I haven't seen a survey yet.
Well, I know. Yeah, so.
I'll get that all going and make sure to stay on top of it. So we got a couple other projects we're working on too, so.
Sure. Thank you, Brian.
I got one more thing. Roof leaks. So we had another roof leak at the police department. It's in the center of the building this time. We had liners out there the other day. He talked to Corey. The rubber was split, is that what he said?
Yeah, a couple slits in it. Yep.
So, it's in the middle of the building this time, so he's supposed to be getting a quote around, what's it gonna cost.
Yeah, we got one here on this building too. We're gonna see what.
So.
Like seeing. A lot of rain. but-
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Fiscal officer.
You have nothing on the fund status and your cash summary like you always get. No reports.
Questions?
I hate to be the bad guy, but what are we doing on this animal ordinance?
What?
It goes back to the original.
What still needs cleared up?
Back to the original.
It doesn't clear it up, it's goes back to the
Okay,
original.
well, just-
Yeah.
all right. So what's the original ordinance?
100 feet, no chicken, or, yeah.
What's on the books now, technically?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can get a cow,
No, it says no hoofed animals on it.
does it?
On the original.
Basically, not on the
The
existing.
original existing one states 505.13, keeping animals near dwellings, part A. No person shall keep, harbor, or maintain any horses, mules, cattle, sheep, goats, swine, rabbits, chickens, geese, or other fowl or animals except dogs and cats within 100 feet of the inhabited dwellings
Oh, you
of
can't have them.
any
Yeah.
other person. Whoever violates this section is guilty of a minor misdemeanor.
Well, I can.
So you can't have
As
them.
long as you're
As long as
within
100 feet.
100 feet of
Oh,
your neighbor.
well, shoot.
Way the price of meat's going up, you might wanna go.
I guess so. I mean,
That's occurred.
we've already, well, never mind.
It's been, what, 2 years now?
I don't understand why the but it's done and passed, so let's move on.
All that work.
Exactly.
Leave it alone.
That's,
Hey, think of all the work you did on the hospital we didn't buy it, think of all the work you did on the pool we
A
didn't
lot of
build it.
waste of time. I could have been doing something else.
Yep. Yep. Mhm. Hospital ain't dead yet.
Nope.
You wanna check to see if that flooded?
May 1st, it's gonna be getting some nuisance signs, I can tell you that.
Grass is getting a little high.
Trees fell and, not good.
Okay. Any other questions? I just had a quick couple, I wanted to thank the village staff and the residents. With all these rain events, it seems like every spring we're getting hit with a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. And I know people get upset. We can't stop it. I mean, our pipes back up. It's just the nature of Mother Nature, right? So I ask for people to have patience. I mean, the street department's out there, the police department, everybody's out there doing what they can to warn people of high water and different places, but it depends on how much rain in a given period of time, it comes down and it flows wherever it wants. So I ask for patience from our residents and calling the staff. We don't want your property damaged, but there's sometimes we can't do anything about it, just the way things work, so. But I want to thank our staff and the residents for, dealing with these problems that we have, and it's not just us, it's other towns. We've had the tornadoes and the high winds and everything, and that's unprecedented. But I want to try to keep people safe. Hicksville Beautification Committee will be having their Mother's Day plant sale. They do this every year. It's a way to help with our downtown plants, and they keep Hicksville looking very nice with those planters and different corners that they put together. But their plant sale is at the multi-purpose building at the fairgrounds, May 8th and 9th. They do that every year, and that's a nice thing to do. Bruce, Silcott, myself, and I know Cheryl, the township EMS and fire contracts are up at the end of June. Me and Bruce went about a year ago and said we probably were gonna revamp the contracts, and Cheryl's been working on numbers, and Bruce has too, but we met with all the townships here this last week and had a sit down with them and kind of told them where we were at without the hospital being a full year in operations and budgeting and everything, and cost of goods, services, everything's gone up. Staffing's gone up, you can tell with the numbers and everything across the board, so we're asking them to help a little bit in regards to the budgets for this next round, so, but thank Bruce and Cheryl for that. I think that's all I have. Oh, the festival, gotta say the festival. Committee's still working, planning a lot of events for June 4th, 5th, and 6th. If anybody does want to help, they can reach out to myself or Chris Fichter at the Huber. But the committee's meeting about every week now to keep things ramped up and making a nice event for the community. Bill's part of it now, Murphy and Chief and Mark Corey, and we'll put Christine on the committee. I get some more things going on at the park, but it's fun stuff. So, but that's it. Anything for me, council?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
What? No executive session? What? Oh, man.
second.
All right, roll call. Do you need a roll call? Thank you,
Bassett.
everybody.
Yes.
Zedek.
Yes.
Valena.
Yes.
Miller. Egley.
Thanks, Avery.
We get a date
Oh,
set.
yeah, the lipstick here.